Build an easy beginner wither skeleton farm from Minecraft Bedrock 1.21. This farm can easily produce up to 50 wither skeleton heads per hour. Before we get started, these are the materials that you will need.
Alright everyone, the first thing you want to do is find yourself a nether fortress. We have one right here. You can find these anywhere in the nether. They spawn in all biomes. If you use an elytra, you just walk around for a long enough time, you'll eventually find one. When you do find your fortress, you want to make sure that it's clear of any obstructions. Sometimes these will spawn in the lava or the roof, or they'll spawn in a mountain. So you want to make sure yours is similar to mine. All the pathways are clear. You can access all of them. And one last thing you want to double check is that when you're walking on these pathways, you want to make sure there's enough height above you. Now, it doesn't have to be this high. This is incredibly high, but it should be at least 25 to 30 blocks high. If your ceiling is really low, it's just going to make the AFK situation a little bit annoying, as you won't be able to see down below. With all that being said, what you want to do is find yourself a crossing pathway just like this. As you can see, there's 4 directions possible that this pathway can go. You want to find one that's adjacent to another one. So as you can see, we have one right here and we have one over here. If you don't have any that are this close together, that's completely fine. We'll just start right here, but ideally you want them to be this close to each other. You don't want them to be like one over here and then the other one way over here. That's way too far and mobs won't spawn properly. But like I said, if you only have one and everything else is like over there, then that's fine. For now, we'll just work with this. If your paths don't look like this at all and these like are your only options, you could use this as your first path and you could use that one as your second path. You could also use this as your first path and that is your second path. We're really just trying to find where these wither skeletons spawn. So if some are spawning over here and some are spawning over there, then that would work. Just make sure that they're not too far apart. This to here, that would be good distance. With all that being said, let's begin. All right, so go ahead and go into the center of your pathway. So if you see right here, that is the center of this pathway. If you don't have a proper center, that's completely fine. Just find it like an average of the center, okay? So go ahead and place a block there. That's going to be a temporary block. Go ahead and take your trap door, place one just right here, and you're going to do that going all the way around this center block right here. So you have trapdoors on those sides and you have trapdoors on these sides. You can then go ahead and place a slab, or actually go ahead and place a block right here and then place a slab above that block and then break the temporary blocks just like this and then keep those trapdoors there. Now, since this is really close to the corners right here, we can break these 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3. We could do that going all the way around. And then after we broke those all the way around, we could just connect these like that, just expanding this. That way we have more space. Then you could just fill those in. So now everything should look just like this. All we did was remove those 3 blocks and then we just brought them out and then we filled everything in. So now go ahead and get your walls and we're going to place it going around this build, but you want to find a front. So what I mean by that is find where your wither skeletons are spawning. So mine are spawning over there, some are spawning over there, and in my case, some are even spawning over there. So I'm going to go ahead and have my opening facing that way. It doesn't matter how yours is facing, but it would be better if it's facing the direction they're spawning. So since I want this to be the front of my build, since most are spawning over there, I'm going to go ahead and place my walls just like this. So one starting there and then just going around like so. I'm going to bring it over here and then I'll bring it over here just like that. And I'll bring this one out by 1. So this is how everything should look. You have one shorter on this side and then one coming out longer on that side. And then what you want to do from here is break 4 blocks. So 1 block here, 1 block here, and 1 block here, and then the last one there. Go ahead and take your trapdoors, place 2 on this side, flick them down. Same thing on this side, place 2 trapdoors and flick them down. Go ahead and break these blocks. Just be careful because in my case, as you can see, there's lava down there. Go ahead and bring this down 1 more block in total for 3. So we have 1, 2, and then 3. In survival, you're going to probably need to do some scaffolding or some layers down here. That way you don't fall. So now you can see we have our trapdoors right here, and then it's going down 1, 2, and 3 blocks. And then what we can do is we can just fill this in just like so. That way we're able to stand on the bottom. So now we have a 2x2 area and it's 3 blocks deep, and then we have our trapdoors on both sides. So go in your chamber just like this, and on that 3rd block down, and to show you this is the front of our build, go to the 3rd block down. So 1, 2, and 3. Break that block right here. Go ahead and place a piston facing towards you. Do the same thing on this block. Place the piston facing towards you. Same thing right here. Place the piston facing towards you, and then one more time, the piston facing towards you. Go ahead and take your observers and then place the observer going into the piston. You could break the top layers right here. That way you're able to see the piston. So that observer should be going into that piston. One more time, take that observer into that piston, and then you can break the top just so you're able to see it. And we're going to just do this going all the way around. And if you don't have any blocks on the corners, you're going to need to place them there. That way you can get your observer facing towards the piston. And then what we want to do now is grab our redstone torches, and we want to place the redstone torches alongside these pistons. So the easiest way to do that will be breaking this block and going down 1 more, and then building a platform around. So we could just go ahead and take the redstone torch, place it on that piston. We'll do the same thing on this one. So we'll break that block, place a redstone torch on that piston, do the same thing on this one, redstone torch over there, and then one more, we'll just take that redstone torch and place it here. And once you place that final redstone torch, you're gonna hear the pistons moving around. It's gonna be really loud. You can go ahead and just place a lever anywhere, flick it down, and then the trident killer will turn off. And then once that lever's flicked down, what we can do is just build a little platform down here. This is gonna be easier so we can collect the XP later on, and we'll just connect this all the way around our trident killer. So as you can see, I created a nice platform. That way we're able to get around what we just built. And then I could just place walls just like this. That way no mobs get in. We'll just finish that up, and then just like that. So now we have a platform that we can get all the way around this trident killer, and then we have walls around it. You don't have to do the walls, and you don't have to do this platform, but this is just gonna make it easier to turn this on and off, and it also makes it so mobs can attack you. And then you could build like a staircase outside. That way you can get up and down. Since we're in creative, I can just fly out. And then if you want to put the roof a little bit higher, that way you don't feel claustrophobic in here, you can. Just whatever you break, you got to probably replace on the walls. So like right over here, we have to fill that in. As you can see, we have more openings over here, so I'll just fill that in. And I think all in all, it just looks better when you have it 3 blocks wide, because just look how small that is when you have 2 blocks. All right, and then to the left of the lever right here, if we go diagonal up 1, we're gonna break this block and place a slab up here. And then we could just place a block right here, okay? So we have a slab there and then a block there. You could place the block here, it doesn't matter, but this is gonna allow us to get our XP. So when there's XP in the container, we could just go right here and we'll be able to get it. All right, what we wanna do now is break these 4 blocks right here, and we're gonna try to get under this trident killer and then break these 4 blocks under it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that way when you go to the top, you can see that there's no blocks down there. So all we did was break these 4 blocks that were already here, okay? So we can come back down. And then once we're down here, those 4 blocks that we broke, so we broke these 4 blocks. Under those, you want to break another 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. For some, there might be blocks here. For others, there might not. And then what you want to do is place 2 chests just like this facing towards you. Now you see why we went down 1. That way we could collect the chest. And then we could just do the same thing on the other side. So if we come over here, we're going to want to make this go down 1 more layer. So we could just get under here, bring that down 1, and then fill that in. And then that way when we go in here, it goes down 1. And then break these 2 blocks, and then place 2 more chests right here. And then we have 2 chests going on each side. And then this just makes it so we can pick up the items. And then on top of these chests, just place your hoppers. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we can just clean this up, build this in, place some blocks right here. And now when we walk around this build, we're just able to come down here, get all the items that are in the chest. Just a nice little system. And if this is bothering you, you can place blocks here or here, doesn't matter. Okay, now let's go back to the top, and everything should look just like that. So all we did was we broke those 4 blocks, replaced them with hoppers, and below them we put chest. Go ahead and throw your trident onto any of these pistons, or actually anywhere for the matter of fact. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw my trident there. If you want better rates, you can go ahead and enchant this with impaling. So I have my impaling enchant on there, or you can just throw multiple tridents in there, up to 3. So we can go 1, 2. You can even put a 3rd one in there if you'd want. For this tutorial, I'll just put 2 impaling tridents in there. All right, the next part, we want to put a piglin brute in here. This can be a little bit challenging, but the easiest way to do this is to get a boat, get a piglin brute, put the piglin brute inside of the boat. We could just nudge it in like that. However you want to get it in is up to you, but what you can do is take a lead to the boat, and we can make a little platform like this, and then put some ladders there, and then we could bring the piglin brute over here just like this. So if we're in survival, we'll just bring it all the way up. You might have to go a little bit higher. Then once you bring it all the way up the ladders, it will just be right here. You can go ahead and unlead it then, and then you'll have your boat just like this. You can place 4 temporary slabs here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go ahead and break that top slab for a second, and then we can go ahead and get in the boat. And what we want to do is just back it up really slowly, and then we get the piglin brute all the way off the edge just like this, but half of the boat is still on. And then once the boat is hanging off the edge like that, we could just surround it over here, and this is just going to ensure we don't like miss it. And then you want to be very careful, but you're going to break the boat and essentially push it in. Just be careful, because as soon as you break the boat, this thing is going to start squealing and going all over the place. You want to break the boat and then push it right in. Just like that, then the piglin brute goes in. This might take you a couple tries, and truly is one of the most frustrating part about this farm, but once this is done, it is done. Then you could go ahead and just break all those blocks you placed. Don't forget to put the slab back on. What you could do is place a slab there, and then place one there. Go ahead and break those, and then once you break those, everything is back to normal, and you have your piglin brute inside. All right, now that that is complete, remember what we talked about earlier about wither spawns. So by just having one here, we're not really maximizing our wither spawn profit. So if we were to put another one over here in the middle, it would capitalize on all the wither spawns that are over there and all the wither spawns that are over there. So what we want to do is basically do the same thing that we did here, but over there. If you guys don't want to expand this to the dual system, you don't have to, but I would highly recommend it, as just one system doesn't make this farm quite worth it. And if you copied your chamber over there, you could just build a tunnel underneath, and then we could just tunnel it right here. And once you make a tunnel over there, you could just connect the platform, and then just like that, you have your tunnels connected. If you want to add some extra aesthetic, you could put some tinted glass right here. Just looks cooler. All right, so now we have a tunnel system going under. render, we have both chambers right there. And once you have both chambers set up, your farm is complete, but there is one common misconception with this farm. Logically, you would turn on both Trident killers and then AFK down there. But if we look at the spawning grid right here, we will be able to see that that is indeed not correct. Everything inside of the blue is where mobs will not spawn around the player, and everything inside of the red is where mobs will spawn. And we can take advantage of this by placing a block here just above the sphere. This block is only 25 blocks up, so from here to that block, that would be 25 blocks. Play it safe, I recommend going up to 28 to 30, so 25, 26, 27, and 28. This will just ensure that you're actually outside of that radius. And when we AFK up here, everything down there will now do its thing. So if we were to AFK on this block, that would give us the best rates possible, which is why I don't understand why I see so many other channels recommending that you just AFK down below. It beats me. Up here, you could just expand this for a 3x3 platform, and then you have a little platform. If you want to be able to get up and down from up here, you can make a little ladder system. Just be careful though, so if you start placing blocks like this, sometimes they'll start spawning up here, and that will become a problem. So now all we have to do is just flick both of these levers up on both sides. And once both levers are flicked up, both of the Trident killers will be activated. As you can see, that one too. Then we just want to come over up here to a 3x3 platform, stand directly on the center block, and then you will start noticing that the withers do spawn, and then they go right into those Trident killers. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Notice how the withers are spawning up there. To stop the withers from getting stuck down here and ruining your rates, what you want to do is just tear this whole thing down. So just like that, we removed all of that, and now the withers are no longer going to spawn here. I recommend just going around and double checking where everything is spawning. For example, if withers were spawning up here, you could just tear down this whole thing. Going back to what I said earlier on expanding this farm, notice how there's withers spawning over here. You could actually take another one of these machines, put them over here. You could take that machine, put it over there for a total of 4. 4 of these machines in total will give you a lot more loot. If you want to double your loot, all you have to do is hold a looting 3, 2, or looting 1 sword up here, and the tridents will automatically be affected by it. And since you threw these tridents, they're actually still applied to you, so you could get the XP down here. And we could just go around our build right here to collect all that XP. Just be careful going on this block, because sometimes you'll collect a trident on accident. If you do want to expand to the 4 system, understand that you're not able to go much farther past this point. If you were to expand the farm all the way out there, it would become useless, and you wouldn't be able to get any return from it. And to give you an idea of your radius, from this block to that red border is 27 blocks. So I think it would be safe to say not to go 25 blocks away from the middle of this area. And that is everything I have for you in today's video. If you have any questions, jot it down in the comment section below or join a Discord server to be a part of an everlasting mending community today. As always, bye-bye.